Well, they did it, which is going to provide relief for millions of low-income individuals. Also, an update on stimulus and where we currently stand. And lastly, some surprising numbers about Americans and their financial situations. All of that in this video, so let's get right into it. First off, I just want to take a quick minute and sincerely thank each and every one of you for your continued support. You know, I do tons of research. I spend hours and hours every single day collecting all of this information, distilling it down into these short videos, and delivering it to you right here on YouTube. So when I come back and I look at all these videos and see the thousands or tens of thousands of views, the thousands and thousands of comments, and the thousands of likes on each and every video, I feel like, hey, you know, all this time that I spend doing all this research is probably helping some people. So I want to sincerely thank you for your continued support right here on the channel. As I say in all my videos, I'm here every day as your daily voice, I'm here as your daily advocate, and I'm here doing anything I possibly can to help you out and do whatever I can to keep you updated with all of this information going on right now as it's changing very, very rapidly. So again, like, it's seriously very humbling to see all of the support here I have on the channel, and I just want to say I truly appreciate you. Even if I can't respond to all the comments, I do my best every day, but seriously, I'm like busy with tons of stuff going on. I do try to respond to a lot of comments, but obviously it's like literally impossible for me to respond to every comment. So I just want you to know I sincerely appreciate you. Thank you. If you're new here, welcome. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video, and I will be committed. I will continue doing everything I possibly can to keep you updated and to be your daily advocate every single day going forward. I know it's a tough time right now. Seriously, the struggle is real. I get it. There's a lot of people who are really hurting right now, and I just want to do anything I possibly can to be here for you and to help you out through this time. So again, thank you. You're amazing. I truly appreciate you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Let's talk through this. All right, so if you saw my video yesterday afternoon, or actually it was yesterday evening, surprisingly, this will come as no surprise, right? So in that video, I was saying, hey, the CDC is going to be announcing an extension of the eviction moratorium for 60 days, which will encompass about 90% of the population in this country. Well, in that video yesterday evening, I was saying, at the time of that recording, they had not announced it yet. Well, surprise, surprise, right as I uploaded that video, sure enough, the announcement came out. So it's funny how that works like literally every single time. So anyway, I have all the information on the extension. You've probably heard about it, but let me run through this really quickly. So yes, the CDC has extended the eviction moratorium for about 60 days. It's actually not quite 60 days, but thereabouts. It's going to be going until October 3rd. So that is when the new extension will go through as far as the eviction moratorium. And yeah, during this next 60 days, it sounds like they're going to do anything they possibly can to aggressively send out all of this like $43-ish billion worth of rental assistance to all of these tenants and renters who need all of this money right now. But according to President Biden and his speech yesterday, this is what it sounds like. And maybe he misspoke, maybe he didn't say this correctly, but this is what I understood. I listened to it a couple times. He said that the money would be going to the landlords, which we kind of understood, right? The money goes to the landlord. Fine. It doesn't really matter, right? I mean, if you're past due in rent, who cares? I mean, just get the money to somebody who can, pay your rent. I mean, that's what it's all for. But according to what President Biden said yesterday, he said in his press briefing announcement, he said that that this money would bring people current on their rent, but not necessarily pay future rents. Now, again, maybe he misspoke and didn't say that correctly. I'm not really sure. But as far as our understanding of all this was originally, if you were past due on rent, they would not only pay past due rents, but also future rents going forward. So yeah, anyway, it sounds like they're going to be sending out a bunch of this money. So you might want to check into it. Previously, if you were not eligible, you might want to just check into it again, because if they want to get rid of this money, I mean, they might just happen to look at your situation and say, hey, we can help you out. So you might want to look into it once again. So just do a simple internet search. Do your state, your county, your city, whatever you want to choose, and do something about like rental assistance or rental programs, rental assistance programs, something like that. And you should be able to find some kind of relief, some kind of phone number, something like that, where you can go and apply or somebody call in your specific area. So yeah, hopefully you can get something, especially if you're past due on some rents for a few months. Hopefully you can get that paid up. So I wanted to bring you that update on the CDC and the extension of the eviction moratorium. All right, an update on stimulus. So surprise, surprise, once again, it is a very slow process. The Senate is continuing to talk through the amendment phase of this whole thing, and it is still talked about that they have a tentative date of voting on this thing tomorrow. Again, I'm not really kind of holding my breath on this whole thing. We've seen this thing drag out so long now, but they've talked about bringing this thing to the floor for an official vote on this tomorrow. We'll actually see on that, but I will keep you posted on that as we get more information. But again, just kind of a slow process, and we'll expect them to give us further updates as we get more. But it's been kind of slow on that whole, the whole stimulus package as of right now, but I'll keep you posted. All right, one more thing here. I want to talk about some numbers that were recently released in a report yesterday talking about Americans and their financial situation and what they've got cooking right now. Well, I think many of us can probably agree, wait, financial situation? What are you talking about? Zeros in the bank account, kind of speak the whole story, right? Yeah. So anyway, by the way, I'm not laughing at that. I'm just kind of saying that's kind of the situation for many, many people right now. I think many people are, recognizing zeros in the bank account are not exactly what we're looking for right now. Unless the zeros are obviously preceded by a bunch of other digits, right? But anyway, that's probably not the case for most people right now. Anyway, these are some surprising numbers. Let me run through this. So in the second quarter of 2021, being April through June, Americans racked up $313 billion of debt. Can you believe that? In just one quarter of this year, $313 billion Americans racked up in debt. Now, that brings the total consumer debt in this country to $14.96 trillion. Yes, that's a ton of money. Let me put that into perspective. The last stimulus package that was passed, the $1.9 trillion stimulus package that was passed back in March, I did the calculation. I took 14.96 trillion, or 14.96, divided by 1.9. It comes out to 7.87. So in other words, we could get 7.87 stimulus packages like we just got back in March for as much debt as Americans have right now. So for all the people out there who say America is the richest country out in the world, I don't know which metric we're looking at, but it looks like we're broke. It's just looking like to me like America is broke. Almost $15 trillion in debt. That doesn't sound like a rich country to me. Anyway. But America is actually a very affluent country. For the most part, we do have a lot of money in this country, but I'm just saying, like $15 trillion, if you saw $15 trillion on a credit card balance of oh my gosh, I owe $15 trillion, you wouldn't feel too rich, would you? Nobody would want to have that much debt. But anyway, what's interesting about this is the biggest spike or the most amount of debt, consumer debt that we have had in this country ever. In fact, this is $2.28 trillion above the previous peak of consumer debt in this country. The previous peak was way back in 2008 at the very highs, which was 12.2 something trillion dollars in debt. So, wow. Yeah, that's just a ton of money that we that we owe in this country, right? In fact, in the second quarter, $282 billion of all that debt that was racked up was in the form of mortgages. Yes, so mortgages. In fact, the $313 billion in debt from the second quarter was actually mostly from credit cards and homes, like purchases of homes. So again, credit cards and mortgages. Wow, that's a lot of money, right? So anyway, I thought you'd find that to be a little bit interesting. I certainly thought it was really interesting as I was going through all the numbers. But yeah, that's just so much money that we owe right now. But in other words, a lot of people were out spending a ton of money in the second quarter of this year and buying homes, apparently. So that's what it looks like. So yeah, anyway, thought I would throw that out there. Thought it was really interesting, but very interesting stuff going on right now. There's a lot of things changing. I'll be back later with another update and more information. I hope you enjoyed this. Just remember, hit that subscribe button right down below the video. I'm back every single day to help you out in any way that I can. And again, thank you so much for your continued support. I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you. I just love all the views, all the comments, all the likes down below. I mean, it's so cool to see that. It just makes me think that, hey, what I'm doing here and all the hours that I spend every day doing this research, preparing these videos, getting all these things up and, providing all this information makes me feel like, hey, it actually is helping, hundreds of thousands of people every single day as I look across all these videos. It's really cool. So thank you again. You're amazing. I truly appreciate it. Subscribe down below, share the videos with your friends, family, social media, and feel free to go back and check out any of the other nearly 1,400 videos right here that I've produced, all of them for you. Thank you again. I appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next video.